Good morning, Stanford High School. My name is Mason Locker.
And I'm Andrew Patashnik. Welcome to the first ever episode of Connection Time News to Go. Our filming was slightly affected by, school being canceled for 2 weeks and all that.
We may be stuck at home, but that doesn't mean we can't still bring you the episode of Connection Time News as planned. So here we go. It's that time of year again. All of you underclassmen are probably talking with your teachers, parents, and counselors to figure out what classes you will be taking next year. It probably feels like a stressful time, but it really doesn't have to be. Keeping that in mind, we at the round table have a message for all the sophomores and juniors who feel like I just described you.
It's a nice class. It looks good for colleges, and you get to have experience in the real world. So, yeah.
Okay, so if you were like me when you joined, you didn't have anything that you were really doing, so it's nice to just be a part of something. As well as the fact that if you take it for your junior year and then want to continue, you can become an editor next year, and that's always fun.
Well, this class made me decide what I want to do in college, so definitely take journalism. It's really fun. Mr. Ringo is the best teacher in Stanford High. Highly recommend.
So journalism is a good class to take because it kind of gives you an opportunity to look into the world of journalism itself that no other thing in school offers. And also you can make great friends, and the class is pretty chill, so all you have to do is get your classwork done.
Hey guys, you should take journalism next year because it's a really fun class, and it really helps you learn more about stuff that's happening in the real world and makes you a much better writer too.
I love doing the round table. It's you can express your feelings. Anything you go through, Mr. Ringo and the team find a way to express that for the news to show you guys. I'm Kaylin and I'm out of here.
That's right. So, put EN99G3270 on your selection sheet to sign up for journalism or communications today.
Now, we move on to what all of you are really probably wondering about. COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, seems to have taken complete control over our lives these past couple weeks. We talked to some students, including student athletes who have been heavily affected by these cancellations, about their opinions and stories regarding this global pandemic.
I'm Siri, and I'm here with
Zach Baldati,
Amanda Lucy.
And how do you feel about the coronavirus?
I feel that there's a certain level of concern that's a little bit outrageous. I feel like there should be some concern, but the level that it's been taken to is a little bit extreme. That's it.
Yeah, what he said.
So we know SEAC canceled the all winter sports. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that's personally also ridiculous. I feel like those kids have been working all year to get to that position, and they should be able to play, whether it be with spectators or not. Just take away the spectators. The thing was that you can't have groups over 100 kids, so I don't see the issue with just the teams playing, and that really upsets me.
The spectators thing, it's just outrageous that everything was just canceled. It doesn't make any sense. It's not that bad. We don't even know if it's in Stanford yet.
Exactly.
So, do you guys think school should be canceled?
I feel like if cases start to pop up in Stanford, then it is necessary to cancel schools because of kids who have siblings and parents with affected immune systems and elderly in their homes, and we need to protect our community and the people that live in our community. So, yes.
I think everybody's gonna if school's canceled. It's
Sure.
2 weeks off school. But for the people that said no on the survey because they didn't have it and lied about it, you're asking for our graduation date to be June 30th. Thank you.
Chris Castro.
Are you scared of spreading the coronavirus to anyone at your family, in risk?
Well, my grandma has asthma, so it's always a possibility.
Ben Duquesne.
Are you scared of spreading the coronavirus to someone in your family who's at risk?
I'm afraid my dog might get it.
That's scary.
It really is.
Vishnu Ramesh. So, are you scared of carrying the coronavirus and spreading it to a family member at risk?
Yeah, I am. I do have family members that have asthma, and I'm scared of, carrying the virus if I am and spreading it to them.
Wash your hands, you'll be all right. Hi, I'm here with
Philip Khan.
So, are you scared of carrying the coronavirus and spreading it to a family member at risk?
Yeah, I am.
Well, just don't bite your nails and wash your hands. Everything will be okay.
Do you think school should be closed? If it gets in Stanford,
Yeah, to protect spreading from young kids to older people. That could be dangerous, but I don't think it will be canceled.
What do you think about SEAC canceling all winter sports?
That was really ridiculous because you don't have to have like any like fans there. They can just play. You should at least let the kids play because they work so hard on it. And like our hockey team like literally bleached our hair, like their hair. So like they put a lot of time and effort into that.
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm Siri, and I'm here with
Miss Latour.
How do you feel about the coronavirus?
Don't feel a certain way right now. Just watching like everybody else. See what happens.
And we know SEAC canceled all winter sports. How do you feel about that, being the basketball coach?
I'm a little upset about that. We had a group of seniors who stuck around for 4 years, really gave a lot to basketball, and for them to not finish out on the court was a little disheartening. And for the other guys, what they put in all season to get to that point was just a little disheartening that they couldn't finish it out on the court. Feel like it's just being ripped underneath them.
And do you think school's going to be canceled?
You know, I'm not sure, but I will say everyone should wash their hands, use the hand sanitizer, soap and water, and just be safe.
Thank you.
What do you think about SEAC canceling all winter sports?
Absolutely stupid. I think if they canceled SEAC, they should just cancel school so everything's canceled instead of ruining seniors' sports. It's their last year. Some people didn't even know that was going to be their last game played. It's just a sad sight.
It may feel like the Mayans were 8 years off right about now, and we completely understand why.
Just remember that all we can do is do our best to keep ourselves and those around us safe. Wash and sanitize your hands and do your best to follow the guidelines set by the national and state health departments.
And now we go to our sports editors for the regular Black Knight sports update.
Welcome back to the Sports Center on the Roundtable Connection Time News. My name is Joe Nathanson.
And I'm Devin Yagmai.
So let's get on to boys hockey. Boys hockey was looking to make a real dent in the state tournament this year. Since the Greenwich game in February, the boys have upheld a strong record of 8-3, and coming out short in the FCAC tournament, the boys hope to make it far in states as they've been preparing all season. The boys won their first round of states in the most recent game on Monday night versus Chester 3-1.
This year, the boys' basketball season had a lot of ups and downs. Mid-season, the boys were on a 4-game losing streak, but bounced back and went on a 5-game win streak. Even through the rough times, they qualified for the state tournament. Jaden Bell, Danny Sims, Jalen Lindsay, and Damani Taylor all were key factors into the change-up of the season. Jaden was the offensive star and scored many points to keep Stanford in the game. Jalen, Danny, and Damani played amazing on the defensive end.
The girls' cheer season just ended. Here is more with Jasmine Van Leeuwen.
Are you ready for this moment? Stanford. Are you ready for the big time? Black Knight.
The Stanford High cheerleading team finished their competition season March 7th at States. They placed 8th out of 20 in the Double L division. At FCX, they placed 8th in the all-girl division. They won one competition this year, the New England Cheerleading Association Championship. The team is losing 4 seniors this year, captains Aniston Boschke and Alyssa Gilmet, and seniors Christina Mazzio and Tiana Fernaros. Next year, the team is hoping to advance to the Team of the Year competition by placing in the top 6, followed by the regional championships by placing in the top 3 in the state.
The girls' basketball season ended with a heartbreaker. The team was presented with many challenges and met their obstacles head-on and worked through adversity. Senior captains Megan Lansdell and Jessica Nelson led the team on both ends of the court. Most of the team was injured heading into the postseason, and the younger girls had to step up and take a leading role, which showed them what the next year is going to look like. The girls made us incredibly proud and had a wonderful season this year.
So this upcoming topic is a bit of a sensitive one, especially for our winter sports athletes around the state, not just in Stanford High. Due to the precautionary measures taken by the state of Connecticut, the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference, also known as the SEAC, announced on Tuesday, March 10th, that they will be canceling the remainder of the winter sports season. The coronavirus outbreak has been taken seriously, but students at Stanford High and all around the state do not agree with the policy that's been announced by the SEAC. On Wednesday, March 11th, students from around the state protested at the SEAC headquarters in Cheshire. Devin, what do you think about the state canceling the rest of the winter sports season?
I think that it was a little bit much. I think they could have just went on and played without fans, because that's like so much less people than just regular school day. Like, we have 2,000 kids in this school, and that's a matter of like 20 people.
Right.
So like, I don't think it's really a big deal if they go and play.
And I know all of our sports teams have worked their butts off all year to get to the state tournament.
Yeah, and especially like the hockey team is a favorite for
hockey.
The state tournament. So like, just taking away this opportunity. And for a school like us, like, we're not there yet. It's not every year that we get home with a state title.
Facts.
For us, it's just like
it's just a real heartbreaker. Yeah. So that's that for sports on the Roundtable Connection Time News. My name is Joe Nathanson.
And I'm Devin Yagmai.
Deuces.
See you next time.
Thanks, guys, and good luck to the Black Knights with whatever comes of the spring sports season.
Taking a 180 to the other side of the school, we go to the junior reporter Abby Gutman with some important information about the Drama Club's most recent show.
Students in the Drama Club have spent the last few months preparing for an annual competition called the Connecticut Drama Festival, or CDA. Now, though, due to the coronavirus concerns, the fate of the competition is uncertain.
Okay, so our CDA show is The Bald Soprano. It is by Eugenie Ionesco, and it's an absurdist play from the late 1940s. It's about two upper middle class English couples who have this dinner party together, and we have a bunch of guests that come, like the maid and the fire chief, and things get kind of crazy. Is what it's about, sort of. Yeah.
It's an absurdist play, meaning that it's a comedy, but it's not your typical comedy. The script actually calls it an anti-play because it doesn't really follow the typical plot and character development that you would see in a normal play. Absurdism is a movement that emerged in France following World War II because everyone was kind of like sad and they were like, what's going on? The world kind of stinks. So to combat that, they were like, what's the purpose of life? Nothing. And therefore nothing matters. So we're just going to kind of have fun while we're here. I think I'm getting that right. So that's what this play is about.
Despite students' effort over the last few months, CDA announced Tuesday in a tweet that due to a number of cancellations from participating schools due to the virus fears, the festival will not be held this weekend. Although rescheduling is a possibility, nothing has been decided at this time.
Thanks, Abby, and congratulations to the Strawberry Hill players on the work that you were able to pull off.
For our final story of the day, some of our staff recently attended the History Department's annual African American History Awards. Here's more on that.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
On February 27, 2020, Stanford High School held their annual African American Awards Assembly, hosted by Jim Moriarty, where selected African Americans were honored for their outstanding achievements within the Stanford community. Each honoree was introduced through presentations on their biographies and achievements made by Stanford High students and were given a plaque. The three honorees were David Austin Jr., the first black fireman in Stanford whose daughter Cheryl Austin Williams accepted the award on his behalf, Jack Bryant, who was the past president of the NAACP and current member of the Stanford Board of Education, and Dr. Tamu Lucero, the first black female superintendent of Stanford Public Schools.
Hi, I'm CJ and I'm here with
Jim Moriarty.
Now, could you tell me how the African American Awards ceremony went?
I think it went very, very well. We honored the superintendent of schools. She was the first black female superintendent of the Stanford school system. We honored the first black fireman of the city of Stanford, and a man by the name of David Austin, who our auditorium was named after in 1981. And we honor Jack Bryant, who was past president 10 years of the local chapter of the NAACP. We read their biographies, the kids did it, the kids did a PowerPoint presentation. They did a very good job of bringing these people from outside of the community into Stanford High School, and it went very, very well.
How long have you been organizing it?
Since the early 1990s. It came from the kids who came to class one day and said that they were tired of seeing people of color depicted in the news in a negative light. And I said to them, well, we can do something. There's a lot of people out there in positions of leadership and doing very, very well that the media never talks about. So we started honoring people, and you can see if you look at this plaque right here, over the years we've honored a lot of different people. We're putting 3 more of the people that we honored last week on the plaque, along with this, which came out of this wall here, came out of my class as well. It's the African American History mural. So we're very proud of that, and we're very proud of doing that during Black History Month, which I think is an extremely important part of learning here at Stanford High School.
You think this year's was the best one yet?
I think it went very, very well. Last year we honored 3 athletes. One of our graduates went to the NFL, Vladimir Dukas. He played 10 years in the NFL. We honored one of the best basketball players ever come out of Stanford High School, Bob Hayes, Spider Hayes, graduate of 1965, captain of the team. And we honored David Fields, who was our captain in the 77 runner-up state championship team, who went on to captain Columbia University's basketball team and works in corporate America. So all of these have gone rather well over the years, and they've been positive for the school.
Thanks, guys. And with that, we have reached the end of our show.
For more, be sure to check out shsroundtable.com and follow us on the Gram and Facebook at SHS Roundtable.
Also, listen into WGCH 1490 the second Thursday of every single month to hear more Stanford High news. Our next Connection Time news will be on Tuesday, March 31st. See you then. For the Stanford High Roundtable, I am Andrew Patashnik.
And I'm Mason Locker. Thanks for watching. Bloopers. Ouch.
Good morning.
That was not grammar. Okay. I'm gonna do it again.
I know.
It's that time of year again. All of the It's that time of year again.
You have to do more of a...